Scaling up your intermittent fasting. You do not need to consider scaling up your intermittent fasting efforts until you have reached the point where you have built up a good amount of momentum, and that is now more difficult for you to stop your fasting activities than it is to get started with them. Congratulate yourself for getting to this stage. Why you should consider scaling up. This is going to depend on your physiology, but after you have followed a particular intermittent fasting method for a while, you may start to hit a plateau. Intermittent fasting is a great way to lose weight, and as you know, it has other benefits too. A lot of the weight that you lose in the beginning with intermittent fasting will be water weight. Some people will have around 20% of water weight, which is a significant amount. But this does vary from one person to the next. Some people are prone to retain more water than others are. Once you have lost this easy water weight with intermittent fasting, then the plateau can strike. We cannot tell you when this will be, as it is different for everyone. When you notice that weight loss is not happening very much, then it is probably the plateau. You then need to strongly consider scaling up your intermittent fasting. If you are on the Lean Gains 816 program as we recommended, you do not have to go into full-on fasting to get over the plateau. Just follow the advice in this video to make an easy transition with the scaling up process. Change to Eat, Stop, Eat. As you know, you will need to go full days fasting with the Eat, Stop, Eat method. You will eat one day and then fast on the next day. This can really help to trigger ketosis in your body, which is where fat stores are used for energy because food calories are not present. It is fairly easy to make the transition from Lean Gains to Eat, Stop, Eat after you are used to fasting. One thing to remember is that when you transition to Eat, Stop, Eat, you need to moderate the amount of carbohydrates you consume, or it will be more difficult to trigger ketosis. The 2-2-2 method. Once you have transitioned to Eat, Stop, Eat and got used to it, you can make the move up again to fasting for 2 days in a row with the 2-2-2 method. Here you will eat for 2 days, then fast for 2 days, and then eat 2 days again. When you fast for longer periods, it helps to activate ketosis. Fasting for 2 days is certainly not easy, and we do not suggest that you rush into this. Spend some time with Eat, Stop, Eat before you make this change. The 3-3-3 method. After using the 2-2-2 method successfully, you can scale up to the 3-3-3 method. Yes, this means 3 days of eating followed by 3 days of fasting, and then 3 days of eating again. Fasting for 3 days should not be too difficult for you after you have gotten into the habit of fasting for 2 days with the 2-2-2 method. Again, the longer fasting period should make triggering ketosis easier. There's a much better chance of you burning more fat if you can fast for 3 days regularly. You must watch your carbohydrate intake with the longer fasting methods, though. Use mindfulness to help you with intermittent fasting. Adopting a mindfulness routine should help you with whatever intermittent fasting method you are using. We especially recommend this when you are scaling up. You don't need to formally meditate here. Just learn how to achieve mindfulness in the best way that suits you. Mindfulness is a powerful way to control your thoughts. If you are having continuous thoughts about eating on fasting days, then mindfulness can distract you and bring you back to the present moment. It is a good way to improve your self-discipline. In the final video, we will discuss the best practices we recommend that you follow to be successful with intermittent fasting.